Hi guys and girls, how are you all doing today? Welcome to another episode of Car Chat. Today on the show, Olivia DeLaurentis is here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to my Pontiac.
Thank you. I thought you were trying to say podcast and you said it wrong, but you didn't. You
I
said
have
a totally
podcast.
different word.
Yes.
You said a totally different word.
This is a different thing. Glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm here.
We have the air conditioner on because it's very hot today in Southern California.
It is. We're in the shade, but it's low. I don't think it's overpowering.
Yeah.
I'm also really loud.
We'll make it work. And we got some coffee and we're just hanging out and we're doing a car chat. I have several things that I want to ask you about, so let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
You have a Snapchat original series called Apocalypse Goals.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. What is Apocalypse Goals all about?
So basically it is a comedy. It's an apocalypse comedy about me and my comedy partner, Sydney Heller.
Yes.
Who's great. She and I basically played two girls who come back from a bachelorette party from Vegas to find out that their apartment's been vaporized, and then realize that there's an alien war going on and shit's just getting vaporized everywhere, and that we have to kind of run for our lives.
That's right up my alley.
And so so it's basically like us trying to get to, it's basically like the vaporizations are starting in California and moving east, so we're trying to get to the East Coast and outrun the vaporizations, and we're trying to find a safe house. And then basically kind of like who we run into and our like misadventures through that, and kind of like we have like a very basic millennial skill set, and just insane things are happening.
You're just trying to survive.
Yeah, and everyone is like either really insane or really stupid. And I think we realized at about like episode 2 that like we even made Sydney so stupid that we were like, how did we how did we do it? Like, I have no idea why or how we made her character that stupid, but
this is, I'm going to take my seatbelt off.
I'm loving that for you.
This is a show that you, correct me if I'm wrong here, you obviously are the stars of it. You wrote and directed it, so you're like doing
edited it.
And you edited it.
Which always sounds weird to say, edited it. And I made all the call sheets, and casted it, and then bought a lot of costumes.
Did you do the gaffing?
No, I wish. No, our fantastic friend Sam did gaffing, and it's actually, the whole thing's only made by 5 people. And we all went to the Mojave Desert. It was like me and Sid, and then our three crew boys, who are a production company called 2 Lemon, and they just basically, one of them's a cinematographer who also did he did color correction and sound, and his name's Emerson Harris. And then the other 2 guys, Sam Pinellas, his last name's confusing, and Danny Kane, just kind of like produced stuff and switched off doing everything else.
Guerrilla
it was really
crew.
Fun. And
awesome.
Like Emerson literally shot sideways on a Blackmagic camera, like handheld.
So this was going to be my next question, because since it's a Snapchat original show, it's vertical video.
Yeah.
And watching the show, it took me a little while to get used to it, because obviously most shows and movies are shot like
and
this.
Most everything in the world is like horizontal.
Was that difficult to get used to? Was it difficult to sort of like plan your shots and things like that? Like,
yes and no. Basically, where I luck out is that I'm really bad at cinematography, and so I don't care. And I think that's where I was lucky, is because I was like, oh cool, I literally don't care, I want to make a comedy show. But definitely, like, we had to stop saying wide shots and say long shots, because that's what it was. But I mean, the good news is Snapchat themselves, they went through this whole presentation on like how to make it look less weird, and they were like, here's how you can do split screens, and they gave us all of these creative ideas. We didn't even really use too many of them. Like, we did split screens here and there, but we mostly just, because we shot a pilot presentation, and that's how we got the show, was we shot a pilot presentation and submitted it, and then they were like, great, do a show. And so I think we made all of our kind of bad mistakes in the pilot presentation. When we were like, oh, what like, when we were like, we don't need a car mount, and it's like, no, you do. And like, so we shot it on we used a car mount and shot it horizontal, and then just cropped in because it was 4K.
You got all the kinks out of the way in the pilot.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but it was definitely weird. Like, it was, the good news is, because we were cheating a lot of shots, it's actually way easier to cheat horizontal than it is vertical. Like, if you're being like, the world's abandoned. Like, it's not. Like, we would just go to the Mojave Desert, and if we had shot horizontal, you probably would have seen some buildings, but because it's vertical, it's like the sky, which Emerson made red in post, and then us on the ground. And so
you can get away with a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely just, it's different, and I bet the guys had probably more fun figuring that out, because for me, I'm like, I don't care.
You can deal with it.
But yeah, it was definitely fun.
Well,
I felt Emerson like got buff from the whole experience, because he had to just hold it sideways. Like on his, it was
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very funny show.
Thank you.
I like it a lot. All the episodes for season 1 have come out at this point. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for a season 2, maybe somewhere down the line.
I am also very highly hoping for that, because it was so fun to do season 1, and
awesome.
like the people at Snapchat they're so fun to work with. Like, they're just really nice, and they're really fun, and so I like working with people who are nice.
Yeah,
that's part of me is just selfishly like, I hope I get to work with fun, nice people.
No,
like him.
That's the number one thing for me on any of my projects. I want to make sure that people are nice and that we're having fun, because if we're not having fun, what are we doing?
Yeah, unless we're making a lot of money and there's a finite end to it. Then I can be like, okay, I'll put my head down and do this. But, but I'd rather be making not as much money and be like, oh, cool, everyone's nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to do a segment on this show. It's a little something that I call, let's pose for thumbnails, but leave all of this in the video.
Oh, okay, I like that.
I assume that you have posed for some thumbnails before for YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to do some really out there ones.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Now that one's, hold on. Oh, that's good.
I like that.
I don't know why I look like, okay, we'll get more of that there.
I think we got it.
I think there's some good ones.
Perfect. So, other question I had for you. You have something that I just found out about a couple days ago. You have another show coming out. And it is called
Unpolished.
Unpolished.
Yeah.
And there's a commercial for it that I commented on Instagram yesterday that I thought was very funny.
Thank you.
So tell us about what Unpolished is all about.
So Unpolished is it's unscripted. It was weird because, okay, so you know the people who do, so you know America's Funniest Home Videos?
Sure.
So the people who do America's Funniest Home Videos have like all these online production companies that they do. So we went in and we auditioned for a show. Me and Sydney, my comedy partner, we auditioned for a show, and they were like, oh, do you guys want your own show? And we were like, okay, what's the joke? What's the punchline here? And they were like, no, let's like come back in, let's develop something. And we were like, I still don't understand. To this point, I still don't understand. But we basically, it's like me and Sydney being like, we've been friends for 9 years and just like doing different challenges and being like aggressive and talking and stuff.
Just being yourselves, basically.
Yeah, and basically, but they come up with really, really funny stuff for us to do. Like we had to do an episode where we create our DIY husbands. So they give us blow-up dolls and like cutouts of like people they know we like, or like different outfits and stuff. Like they asked us all these questions about like the perfect guy, and then they got us kind of a bunch of stuff that sort of like was in our taste already, and then we made giant DIY blow-up doll husbands and then took wedding photos with them. Like, so it's all been like,
so you got married.
Yeah, we got married to
that's awesome.
a plastic doll.
Congratulations.
That I believe is still in their studio, unless they've decided it's too scary and it has to go.
Could be.
Yeah, Sydney's is really, they're both so upsetting.
Hers
though, I wouldn't trust around kids. Like it's like I mean, not in like a bad way, but in like a way of like, they're gonna let the kids run into traffic.
So when does Unpolished
comes out on September 3rd?
Okay.
September 3rd,
Soon.
which is a Tuesday, yeah. And so basically, and the thing at the end that you saw, we end every episode by doing something called aggressive affirmations. So it's like we do one to each other each, and then we do one to the camera, and the idea is like, we just say something really nice to the other person, but it's as aggressive as you
Right.
can be, and so we'll like each say, you know, and they're all like genuine, but they're really scary. So
Yeah.
that was mine. It was something about however you think you're doing better.
It worked on me. I felt better about
Good,
myself
I'm glad.
afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, they're all like, all of them are. I definitely, like, before we do them, I always go like, okay, what do I really want to say to someone? And but they're scary, and
in a good way.
yeah, they're scary in a good way, which I think I am also.
Anything else that you want to plug before we go? I know you got
question.
stuff going on. I would say that you need to calm down a little bit. You got too much going on.
Oh, I know what to plug. Sydney and I, we're making a bunch of stuff always, but we're going to start putting more stuff up on our YouTube channel, which is Barely Legal Comedy.
Right.
Which we made the name when we were 18 and 19, and now I'm 23 and she's 24. So it's less. I mean, it's still technically accurate in terms of being able to rent a car. But neither of us can legally rent a car.
But you could also interpret it as comedy that is so edgy it's barely legal.
That's why we originally wanted to. That was my idea of like, oh, I want to do that, and then now everyone's like, oh, so you make porn, and so
Well,
yeah.
it's probably okay if people think that too, because you know if it drives more traffic.
Exactly.
to
No, and we
YouTube.
have a web series called Sugar Babies that we made in 2017, and so we would always have to be like, look up Barely Legal Comedy Sugar Babies,
Right.
because if you just look up Barely Legal Sugar
It's a
Babies,
whole different
like
thing.
you so can, but like just that you won't find us.
Right,
Like
right,
there'll be
right.
so many other things on the internet that get pushed before that that you will not find us.
I've seen some of that on YouTube as well, and it's very funny. So make sure you go check that out.
Thank you.
Olivia, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're doing well. Everything okay?
Yeah, there's something in my eye, but it's not anything big. There we go. It's gone.
Okay. And we'll see you on the next episode of Car Chat.